4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey guys, Ranchin here, bringing you all another StarCraft commentary. This is going to be the final match of Group A in round 32 in the Nate MSL, and we have Light, aka Light Alive, playing against ForGG on the new map, Adai. We're going to have Light playing as the blue turn at the 5 o'clock position, and we're going to have ForGG as the white turn at the 11 o'clock position. So ForGG as white at the upper left, and Light as blue as the lower right. So this is going to be the final match. This is going to decide who gets to join best as a 2-1 winner of Group A, secondary winner of Group A. ForGG won that first game, despite having an early disadvantage that he was trying to push into an advantage. It was all very weird how that entire game turned out. He went for 2 base push against the 14 CC. That didn't work out that well, but yet apparently did work out at least a little bit because Light wasn't able to get a huge number of forces up quite yet, and then he lost. Then the Light allowed a crap load of tanks to be completely surrounded by vultures and killed, and there were some other mistakes that he allowed, and just, it was fun. Now Light has a chance to get some revenge, and I'm going to be completely unbiased in saying that I really like Light. I really like his style of play, particularly his TVZ. But overall, I want to see him go forward in this tournament just so I can see him play a TVZ series. There's so many Zergs, and some of them have to get out of some groups. So maybe we'll get lucky and get him a Zerg opponent in the round of 16 where he gets to play a 3-game series. Maybe if he wins that, he'll get another Zerg in round of 8. And that's just really why I want Light. Light is, for me, is like Hwasun is for me. I like those players just because of a specific playing style they have. And Light going for very, very, very far off racks, while on the opposite side, ForGG actually going to wall off. But yeah, Light and Hwasun, I specifically like them because of their TVZ play. I don't, well, you know, I guess their other matchups aren't significant in any particular manner, but their TVZ I really like, I'm a really big fan of. Don't know why, just am. Okay, some very forward racks, but not really an 8 racks or anything of the sort. Just standard racks, just in a very forward position. It's going to be allowed to float off to get very quick scout. Don't think he's going to go for any sort of marine either. Although his gas was a little bit later than ForGG's, I believe. Both players just playing very standard so far. Okay, never mind. There are going to be at least a couple marine scouts not going down right after that. Light going to get that SCV scout going. This is, as I said before, a 2-player map, despite it looking like a 4-player map. It's huge enough to be a 4-player map, trust me there. Factory coming down from ForGG, and the opposite side, Light also has his second behind. Only mining with one SCV. Both players only mine. No, never mind. ForGG has a couple more SCV mining, so he might be going for some early pressure yet again, and Light's going to get his SCV killed. Right off the bat, right. Not being able to manage to go up the ramp is going to get it killed. Well, on the opposite side, Light is going to go for an expansion. There was only one SCV mining that gas, and ForGG spotting that completely. So we're going to see whether he actually decides to go for any early pressure load or whether he's going to counter with getting another expansion. Actually, Light pulling quite a few SCVs off the line just to harass that one single SCV. Just to push that one single SCV out of there. And on the opposite side, I think ForGG is indeed actually going to plop down a command center. He did have a little bit more gas. He's going to plop down his command center. So both players are going to go for expansion builds. Meanwhile, now Light is going to pop it right towards the natural. I don't need to float. I'm a manly man. My daddy was a sailor, and he has a tattoo. And that's what makes you a real man. Not morals, tattoos, and being a sailor. First Vulture now out in the field, and I think that's going to be used alongside the Marine to take out that one single pesky SCV. And actually, never mind, it's just going to die to the Marine. So the first single Vulture is going to go out there and see whether it can do some sort of damage, any sort of hurt. It's not going to be able to go up the ramp, but might at least delay something. First tarp already on the way for ForGG, so he's just going to continue just right away, get into the thick of things, give me some good old standard TVT. We're going to see what actually goes. We saw some Wraith play last time from Light, so we're going to see what ForGG is going to do something alongside as well. Rax is being floated on both sides, and this is just Light getting a scout. This is just Light flowing it up as north as possible, and the only 2 Marines, they're not going to be enough to prevent the scout. That Rax is going to fly right up there, is going to spot the starport. Now he's going to float it to the right spot. Anything now. Their armory right away, raiding against those raids. Second factory coming up alongside. so he can at least keep constant tank production from one of those, so he doesn't have to, you know what I'm talking about. So he can get that second factory to produce Goliaths while he continues tank production from the other one. Probably going to get one, maybe two Goliaths. Does have his natural expansion mining for ForGG just now. Putting down a second refinery action with an SCV as he lots to float up. And Light is going to go in there, get the scout, and escape with the frickin' thing. Wow. Talk about letting it live. Also, actually, an SCV running right north, presumably to that position to repair it against the flames. And actually a tank there, possibly to intercept that said SCV. No. Your bloody barracks is gonna burn. It's gonna get some minor repair going, but not enough to save the Rex, I think. Not yet. Anyway, Vulture's actually coming out with mines in play. Gonna pick off Marines. Are some tanks, though. We're gonna see they're actually not gonna run in very close. Just gonna plant some mines outside. Gonna force ForGG to mine against those mines. Oh, not even quite managing. Okay, managing to marker against some of those mines. Pick them off. Some of them actually already damaged. Control tower. Didn't see the first Wraith out yet, so I think he just went for control tower right away and upgrades before he even went for the first Wraith. Academy also up alongside control towers on the way for Light. So, okay, never mind. There's the first Wraith. I actually picked off the rack, so it was floating around. Gonna force Light to build another Rax as soon as he wants more packages. Did actually, yep, adding in already that second Rax. First Goliath's already in play, but their control towers are on the way as well, so they're going to help against this single Wraith. Not quite sure if Terran Booster's on the way. No, not quite. 2 shots off on that Wraith. Wraith is going to float back. At least he's going to get the scouting information. Saw that Rax coming out. Saw there were only 2 factories. Second Wraith also on the field. Going to be able to run around and be annoying while ForGG gets his Academy up. So we're going to see his own control towers out in the field fairly soon. Second machine shop coming down for Light, and I think he's going to be adding in more factories as soon as he gets that Rax going. Actually has a sizable force on the, well, I wouldn't say sizable, but has a force on the ground. 3 tanks. Yes, he has a force. Everybody has a force. All players have a force. Ray's going to come in. The force. Dark side, light side, all that stuff. But Ray's actually going to come in inside, right inside this main. Going to pick off SCVs by a fairly decent number. Those 2 Wraiths actually doing fairly amount of damage. Scan going to come off any second with those Goliaths in play. Not seeing any Terran boosters. Okay, light. Scan. Okay, never mind. Never mind, he's not scanning, he's just threatening a scan to force Wraiths to go in another position when there are no Goliaths. Another Goliath right into that position, no scans going off, just at least forcing Wraiths to fly around. But the Wraiths have actually picked off several SCVs, I think. Not quite sure, counted 4 or 5, something like that. Final scan going off, picking off one of those Wraiths. One other Wraith is running around, not cloaked. ForGG adding in more factories. Gonna go for his 3rd and 4th, I think Light, yep, getting his 3rd up so far. Kind of behind in factories. Meanwhile, just attempting to expand at this 3 o'clock base. Goliaths with Charms are going to come inside. Charon boosters. I think actually they're not pronounced Charon boosters. I think they're pronounced something different. Charon boosters. I think they're actually, I'm not quite sure, but I think they're actually pronounced Charon boosters. But you know what? I don't care. Charon booster, Charon booster, Haram, Haram, whatever. Single pesky Wraith gonna get taken out. So all Wraiths out. Meanwhile, ForGG moving out with nothing but tanks. Nothing but tanks on the ground. He should have Vultures coming in support right now. He did something similar in the first game. It worked out, so he's thinking of just kind of following up the same. Gets a lot of tanks off those 2 facts. He did go 2 fact build this time, but he just has a lot of tanks just building off 2 factories and 2 other facts to give auxiliary forces on the ground. Also has his first dropship on the field. Meanwhile, going to expand at 12 o'clock. Light, meanwhile, has not quite put up a base at the 8 o'clock. I think he's expanding there as we speak. And we're